The shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere with a gentle hum, carrying 6 of the galaxy's brightest young minds toward what they considered an overrated destination. Inside the passenger cabin, Zelix of the Kellerii species gazed out the window with undisguised disappointment. Her large, gentle eyes reflected the blue planet below. "This is supposed to be dangerous?" she whispered to her companion, a crystalline Vexian named Crate. "It looks beautiful." Crate's translucent form shimmered with amusement. "The humans exaggerate everything about their world. Class 12 Deathworld designation, clearly outdated information from their primitive years." Across the aisle, Threnva floated in his specialized water tank, his aquatic body rippling with laughter. "My homeworld has actual predators. Real ones. I researched Earth's oceans. Their largest creature eats tiny plants. How terrifying." The other 3 students joined the mockery. Pix, a small insectoid from the Harmony Cluster, clicked her mandibles in agreement. "The Galactic Academy accepted our applications here because nobody else wanted to come. Earth is considered a punishment assignment." "Or a joke," added Vorn, whose thick gray skin and powerful build made him one of the largest students. "My people crush stones for recreation. Earth's gravity is only 0.928 standard. Barely noticeable." The 6th student, a feathered Avix named Seely, remained quiet. She had read the classification reports carefully. Something about the repeated warnings troubled her, but she kept silent. Her companions were the best students from their respective worlds. They must know better. The shuttle touched down at the International Galactic Academy in Geneva with barely a tremor. As the door opened, Earth's air rushed in. Immediately, Zelix gasped. "The oxygen content," she exclaimed, checking her wrist device. 21%. "That is dangerously high." Crate adjusted his environmental suit's filters. "No wonder humans are so energetic. They are basically breathing mild stimulants constantly." A human woman waited for them at the landing platform, her dark hair pulled back professionally. She wore simple clothes and carried a data pad, smiling warmly as they disembarked. "Welcome to Earth," she said, her voice calm and pleasant. "I am Dr. Sarah Chen, your program coordinator. I hope your journey was comfortable." The students exchanged glances. Dr. Chen seemed remarkably ordinary for someone living on a death world. "Thank you, Dr. Chen," Zelix said politely. Though she struggled slightly with the gravity, it was not crushing, but definitely more than comfortable. "We are excited to begin our studies." "Wonderful," Dr. Chen replied, and something flickered in her eyes that might have been amusement. "Your student guide will show you to your quarters. Please rest today. Tomorrow, we begin orientation." A young human male approached, waving cheerfully. He looked barely older than the students themselves, with friendly features and an easy smile. "Hey everyone. I am Marcus, graduate student in xenobiology. I will be your guide during your stay." He hefted their luggage easily, despite the weight that would have challenged some of them. "Follow me. The dormitory is just across campus." As they walked, the students noticed peculiar details. Every window had heavy reinforcement. Digital displays on buildings showed weather information constantly. Emergency supply stations stood at regular intervals along the pathways. "Marcus," Seely asked carefully, "why are there so many weather alerts?" Marcus glanced at a display showing wind speeds, temperature, and something called a UV index. "Oh, that? Just normal monitoring. Earth's weather changes pretty fast. You want to know if a storm is coming. Storms happen often?" Pix clicked nervously. "Depends on the season," Marcus said casually. "We are heading into autumn, so mostly just rain and wind. Nothing serious until winter." The way he said, "nothing serious," made Seely's feathers puff slightly. They reached the dormitory, a sturdy building that seemed over-engineered compared to structures on their homeworlds. Inside, the rooms were comfortable but featured curious additions. Reinforced doors, multiple emergency exits, supply cabinets stocked with water, preserved food, and medical equipment. "Why does each room have disaster supplies?" Crate asked, his crystalline form reflecting his confusion. Marcus looked genuinely puzzled by the question. Standard safety protocol? You never know when you might need to shelter in place. Earthquake, severe storm, power outage, whatever. These things happen regularly? Vorn rumbled. I mean, not every day. Marcus laughed. But often enough that you stay prepared. Better safe than sorry. Right? The students settled into their rooms uneasily. That evening, they gathered in the common area, comparing notes. Did you see the medical center? Threnva bubbled from his tank. It has treatments for over 300 types of venomous bites and stings. 300? What kind of planet has that many venomous creatures? This one, apparently, Zelix said quietly, scrolling through Earth's biological database on her tablet. There are spiders here. Small creatures. Some have venom that causes flesh death. Flesh death? Pix skittered backward. And humans just live with these things? According to this, Seely read from her own research. Humans encounter dangerous wildlife regularly. They teach children how to identify threats. Children? Crate shimmered with disbelief. They expose younglings to danger? A rumble of thunder rolled across the sky. The students jumped, but through the windows they could see humans outside continuing their activities, barely glancing up. Rain began falling, and lightning flashed across the darkening clouds. Marcus walked past, carrying books. He noticed their alarmed expressions and smiled. Just a thunderstorm. Pretty mild one, too. Sleep well, everyone. The students watched the electrical discharge split the sky, felt the building vibrate with thunder, and saw the humans treating it like background noise. Zelix spoke what they were all beginning to think. Perhaps we underestimated this place. End quote. Outside, Earth simply continued being Earth. Utterly indifferent to the alien visitors, learning their first lesson about humanity's home. The first week of orientation began with what Dr. Chen called gentle introduction activities. The students soon learned that human definitions of gentle were terrifyingly different from the rest of the galaxy. On their third day, Marcus led them on a nature walk through a nearby forest preserve. The morning seemed pleasant enough, with sunlight filtering through green leaves and birds singing overhead. This is beautiful, Zelix said, relaxing slightly. Her herbivorous nature appreciated the abundance of plant life. She reached out to touch an interesting leaf. Wait, Marcus shouted, but too late. Zelix jerked her hand back with a cry of pain. Red welts appeared instantly on her skin, burning intensely. The other students rushed to her side in panic. Marcus quickly retrieved a small bottle from his backpack. Stinging nettle. Hold still, this will help. He applied a clear gel to her skin, and the burning slowly faded. Your plants attack? Zelix gasped, cradling her hand. Well, not attack exactly, Marcus explained. They defend themselves. Stinging nettle has tiny needles filled with irritating chemicals. Lots of earth plants have defense mechanisms. Thorns, toxins, irritating oils. You carry medicine for plant injuries on a casual walk? Crate asked, his crystalline form flickering with concern. Marcus looked confused by the question. Of course. Standard hiking preparation. I also have treatments for insect bites. Snake bite kit. Antiseptic. Bandages. Pain medication. And emergency beacon. The students stared at him in silence. For a casual walk? Seely repeated quietly. Better prepared than sorry, Marcus said cheerfully, the same phrase becoming disturbingly familiar. Later that week, Dr. Chen took them to Earth's Natural History Museum. The students expected a pleasant educational experience. Instead, they found themselves confronting nightmares. The dinosaur exhibit loomed before them. Massive skeletal remains of creatures that once ruled Earth dominated the halls. A Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton towered overhead, its teeth longer than Pix's entire body. These lived here? Vorn whispered, awed despite his considerable size. On this planet? Millions of years ago, Dr. Chen confirmed. Earth has hosted many different eras of life. Dinosaurs ruled for about 165 million years. What happened to them? Threnva bubbled nervously. Mass extinction event. An asteroid impact, combined with volcanic activity. About 75% of all species died. Seely's feathers flattened against her body. 75%? That was the fifth major extinction event in Earth's history, Dr. Chen continued calmly, as if discussing the weather. Life always recovered and evolved new forms. Humanity evolved from small mammals that survived the dinosaur extinction. The students followed her through exhibits showing Earth's violent geological history. Volcanic eruptions that blackened skies for years. Ice ages that covered continents. Meteor impacts that reshaped the planet's surface. Your world tried to destroy all life multiple times, Crate stated. And life just continued? Dr. Chen smiled. Life on Earth is remarkably stubborn. It adapts, survives, and thrives despite incredible challenges. That evening brought their first real thunderstorm. Rain hammered against the reinforced windows like thousands of tiny impacts. Lightning split the sky every few seconds, and thunder shook the building's foundation. The students huddled together in the common room, terrified. Meanwhile, humans walked past in the hallway, chatting casually, laughing, completely unconcerned. How are they not frightened? Pix clicked, her small body trembling with each thunderclap. Because this happens regularly, Seely said quietly, researching on her tablet. Earth experiences approximately 16 million thunderstorms each year. 44,000 every day. A cower. Seely. Every day? Zelix whispered. The next morning, Crate developed a fever. The medical center examination revealed something disturbing. You have encountered a common Earth virus, the human doctor explained. Nothing serious. Your immune system is fighting it off. Common? Crate shimmered weakly. How common? Humans encounter thousands of different pathogens regularly, the doctor said. Our bodies fight microscopic invaders constantly. Bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites. Your immune system is not trained for Earth's microbial diversity. So you are more vulnerable. After Crate received treatment, the students gathered for an emergency meeting in Vorn's room. Let me understand this correctly, Vorn said slowly. Humans fight invisible battles against microscopic organisms every single day of their lives. According to my research, Seely confirmed. The human immune system is incredibly sophisticated because it must be. Earth contains more bacterial cells than stars in their galaxy. Humans carry trillions of bacteria in and on their bodies constantly. They live with trillions of bacteria? Thren Va's water tank bubbled with agitation. Not just live with them, Zelix added, reading from her own tablet. They require them. Human digestion depends on beneficial bacteria. They have evolved a cooperative relationship with microorganisms. Pix pulled up a holographic display. I have compiled a preliminary list of dangers we have encountered in 1 week. Aggressive plant defenses. Extreme weather patterns. Electrical atmospheric discharge. Dangerous atmospheric oxygen levels. Gravity stress. Temperature fluctuations. Constant pathogen exposure. And we have not even left the city yet. Marcus mentioned their ocean visit is scheduled for next week. Seely said quietly. The room fell silent. Perhaps, Crate suggested, his glow dim from illness. We should reconsider our initial assessment of this planet. Through the window, they could see human children playing outside in the aftermath of the storm, jumping in puddles, laughing under a sky that had been throwing lightning just hours before. Marcus appeared at their door, holding a basket of fruit. Hey, thought you guys might like some local snacks. These are all safe for your species. I checked with the dietary database. The students accepted the gift gratefully, touched by his kindness. Marcus, Zelix asked carefully, does Earth seem dangerous to you? Marcus considered the question seriously. I mean, you have to respect nature and stay aware of your surroundings. But if you are careful and prepared, it is mostly fine. Why? The students looked at each other, realizing something profound. To Marcus, to all humans, this level of danger was normal. They were born into it, raised in it, shaped by it. Earth had not made humans fearful, It had made them vigilant, adaptable, and remarkably, almost impossibly resilient. And they were only beginning to understand what that truly meant. The field trip to the coast was meant to be relaxing. Dr. Chen had promised them a safe beach experience with calm conditions. The students were learning that human definitions of safety required serious adjustment. The beach itself was beautiful. Golden sand stretched for miles, and the ocean sparkled under the sun. Humans dotted the shoreline, swimming, playing, building sand structures. Children ran through the waves, laughing. The water looks peaceful, Threnva observed from his mobile tank. As an aquatic species, he felt confident about this activity. Finally, something I can excel at. Marcus was setting up a shade canopy for them. The waves are pretty small today, maybe 1 meter. Perfect for beginners. But remember the safety rules I taught you. Never swim alone, stay in the marked areas, and respect the currents. Currents? Zelix asked. Ocean water moves in patterns, Marcus explained. Some currents can pull you away from shore. Riptides are the dangerous ones. If you get caught, swim parallel to the beach, not against the current. Fighting it will exhaust you. The casual way he discussed potential drowning disturbed them, but the students proceeded to the water's edge. Threnva was eager to demonstrate his natural abilities. Despite warnings, he ventured slightly beyond the marked swimming area. The others watched from the shallows, where even the small waves felt surprisingly powerful. Suddenly, Threnva's tank began moving sideways rapidly. His communication device crackled with panic. Something is pulling me. I cannot control my direction. Marcus was already running, diving into the water with smooth efficiency. He reached Threnva's tank in seconds, gripping it firmly and swimming at an angle to the shore. The current fought him, but Marcus's strokes remained steady and strong. Within 2 minutes, he had brought Threnva back to safety. On the beach, breathing heavily but still calm, Marcus checked the tank's integrity. You hit a riptide. Are you okay? Okay. Threnva's aquatic body trembled. I am from a water world. I have lived in oceans my entire life. How did your ocean nearly drown me? Earth's oceans are pretty powerful, Marcus said, as if this explained everything. That is why we have lifeguards, safety flags, and swimming lessons. Most human children learn ocean safety by age 6 or 7. Children, Vorn rumbled. You teach younglings to survive these waters? Well, yeah, Marcus smiled. The ocean is not going away. Better to learn young. Later, as they rested under the canopy, Pix noticed something floating near the shore. Translucent, beautiful, pulsing with gentle movement. What are those lovely creatures? She asked. Marcus glanced over and immediately stood. Everyone back. Those are jellyfish. Do not touch them. Why? They look harmless, Crate observed. They have stinging cells. Venom. Some species can cause severe pain, paralysis, or worse. Even dead jellyfish can sting you. The students stared at the graceful creatures drifting in the shallows. Swimming venomous animals? Seely's voice was faint. In the water where humans swim recreationally? You just have to watch where you are going, Marcus shrugged. Usually they are not a big problem. That evening, back at the dormitory, the students held another emergency meeting. This time, their research was systematic and thorough. Zelix created a presentation, her hands still shaking slightly. I have compiled data on Earth's wildlife. There are approximately 165 species that could potentially threaten a human. This includes bears, large cats, crocodiles, sharks, venomous snakes, and spiders. But humans are not apex predators, Vorn added, displaying his own research. They are omnivores with relatively weak physical capabilities compared to many Earth species. No natural armor, no venom, no claws, moderate speed. Yet they dominate the planet, Crate finished. How? Seely pulled up historical data. Intelligence and cooperation. Humans develop tools, strategies, and social structures. But more importantly, They learn to coexist with danger. Look at this. Annual human deaths from hippopotamuses alone exceed deaths from many other causes on safer worlds. Hippopotamuses? Pix clicked in confusion. The image showed a large, seemingly slow creature in water. Extremely territorial and aggressive, Seeley continued. They kill approximately 500 humans per year. Mosquitoes, tiny flying insects, cause nearly 700,000 deaths annually through disease transmission. The room fell silent as the numbers sank in. Let me understand, Threnva bubbled slowly. Humans face more environmental threats in a single year than most species encounter in their entire evolutionary history? That appears accurate, Zelix confirmed. Vorn displayed a graph. I have been analyzing human physical capabilities. Their endurance is extraordinary. Humans can run for hours without stopping. They can survive in temperatures from -40 degrees to +50 degrees. They heal from injuries that would be permanent for many species. Their pain tolerance is remarkable, because they have to be resilient, Crate said quietly. Earth forced them to adapt or die. A realization was settling over the group, heavy and profound. Pix pulled up video footage of human activities. Look at this. Humans climbing mountains voluntarily, diving deep underwater for recreation, exploring caves, jumping from aircraft with fabric parachutes, running toward danger to help others. That last one, Seeley said. Emergency responders. Humans have entire professions dedicated to running into dangerous situations to save others. They watched footage of firefighters entering burning buildings, rescue workers in storms, medical teams in disaster zones. They are not just surviving Earth, Zelix whispered. They are thriving despite it. No, because of it. Marcus knocked on the door, carrying fresh fruit again. Hey everyone. Tomorrow we are visiting the mountains. Should be fun. Make sure to bring warm clothes. Temperature drops with elevation, and there might be some light snow. After he left, the students looked at each other. Snow, Vorn said flatly. Frozen water falling from the sky. He said light snow, Pix added. Which means heavy snow is also possible. And he sounds excited about it, Threnva observed. Seeley pulled up Earth's climate data, her feathers ruffling with stress. Earth has multiple climate zones. Deserts, frozen poles, tropical regions. Humans live in all of them, voluntarily. The Deathworld classification was beginning to make terrible, perfect sense. Outside, humans continued their evening activities, jogging past with dogs, cycling home from work, existing peacefully in an environment that was slowly revealing itself to be far more hostile than the students had ever imagined. And tomorrow, they were going to the mountains. The mountain trip never happened. At 3 a.m, the students were awakened by an alarm they had never heard before. A loud, persistent sound that made the building's emergency lights activate automatically. Zelix stumbled from her bed, disoriented. What is happening? Through her window, she saw humans moving quickly but calmly through hallways. No panic. Just purposeful action. Marcus appeared at her door. Earthquake alert. Moderate tremor detected. Get to a doorway or under a desk. Now. Before she could ask questions, the world began to shake. It started as a gentle vibration, then grew stronger. The floor moved beneath her feet like a living thing. Books fell from shelves. Her water glass slid across the table and shattered. The building groaned and creaked, sounds that should not come from solid structures. Zelix grabbed the doorframe as Marcus had instructed, her legs trembling. Through the walls, she heard the other students crying out in fear. The shaking lasted perhaps 30 seconds, but it felt like an eternity. When it finally stopped, silence fell for just a moment. Then, human voices filled the halls, checking on everyone, assessing damage, following protocols with practiced efficiency. Dr. Chen appeared, carrying a flashlight and clipboard. Is everyone all right? Anyone injured? The 6 students gathered in the hallway, shaken but unharmed. Around them, humans were already inspecting walls for cracks, checking water lines, and testing emergency equipment. The ground moved, Picks clicked, her entire body vibrating with residual fear. The solid ground moved. Magnitude 5.8, Dr. Chen reported, checking her device. Moderate earthquake. We are fortunate the epicenter was 30 kilometers away. Minimal damage to the building. Moderate? Crate's crystalline form was flickering erratically. The entire structure nearly collapsed. A human engineer passing by overheard and stopped. Actually, this building is rated for magnitude 8. We design for earthquakes here. That was barely a test of the safety systems. The student stared at him as he continued his inspection, completely unbothered. Over the next few hours, as aftershocks rippled through the region, the students watched humans respond with remarkable calm. Emergency supplies appeared from designated storage areas. Communication systems activated. Damage assessments proceeded systematically. By morning, the campus was functioning normally again. Classes were canceled for building inspections. Giving the students time to process what had happened, they gathered in the common room, exhausted and shaken. Vorn pulled up geological data on his tablet. Earthquakes, he read aloud, occur on Earth constantly, thousands daily. Most are too small to feel. Hundreds per year are strong enough to cause damage. Dozens are potentially catastrophic. And humans just accept this? Threnva asked weakly. Seely was researching other natural disasters. Earthquakes are only one threat. Earth also experiences tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, droughts, and blizzards. All of these happen regularly? Zelix asked. According to this data, yes. Some regions experience multiple types. Coastal areas face hurricanes and tsunamis. Central regions have tornadoes. Polar areas have extreme cold. Volcanic zones have eruptions and earthquakes. 7. Coastal. Pics displayed a world map showing disaster frequency zones. Red marked high-risk areas. Nearly every continent had extensive red coverage. Humans live in all these areas, she observed. Millions of them. They build cities in earthquake zones. On volcanic islands. In hurricane paths. On floodplains. Why? Crate asked the question they were all thinking. Why not simply leave the dangerous areas? Dr. Chen appeared at the doorway, having overheard. She entered and sat with them. Her expression understanding. That is a fair question, she said gently. The answer is complex. Resources exist in dangerous areas. Historical significance. Family homes. But more than that, humans learned long ago that Earth has no truly safe zones. Danger exists everywhere in different forms, so we adapted. Adapted how? Vorn asked. Engineering. Building codes. Early warning systems. Emergency response training. Community cooperation. We cannot stop earthquakes or hurricanes. But we can prepare for them. We can build structures that withstand them. We can develop evacuation procedures. We can help each other survive. She pulled up images on her tablet. Buildings designed to sway with earthquakes, seawalls protecting coastal cities, storm shelters in tornado regions, emergency supply networks. Humans have been surviving Earth's dangers for our entire existence, Dr. Chen continued. It shaped how we think, how we build, how we cooperate. Every human child learns basic emergency procedures. We practice disaster drills in schools. We maintain emergency supplies at home. It is simply part of life here. The students absorbed this slowly. Your entire civilization, Seely said quietly, is designed around surviving constant environmental threats. When you phrase it that way, it sounds dramatic. Dr. Chen smiled. To us, it is just normal. We do not think about it much. Honestly, you learn the rules, stay prepared, and live your life. That afternoon, the students requested a meeting with the Galactic Academic Council via communication link. The council members appeared as holograms, curious about this unusual request. Zelix spoke for the group. We need to submit a preliminary report. Our initial assessment of Earth was incorrect. Severely incorrect. Severely incorrect, the council member, a a dignified elder from the wise worlds, tilted her head. Explain. Earth's Deathworld classification is not exaggeration or outdated information, Zelix continued. If anything, it is an understatement. This planet presents constant, varied, and severe environmental challenges. The fact that humans not only survive but thrive here represents an extraordinary achievement, Vorn added his perspective. Humans have developed remarkable resilience, not through physical superiority, but through intelligence, cooperation, and adaptability. They have turned environmental adversity into evolutionary advantage. We request, Crate said, his glow steady now, permission to continue our full academic term here. We came expecting an easy assignment. We found something far more valuable, a lesson in survival, adaptation, and the strength that comes from facing challenges rather than avoiding them. The council members exchanged glances. Finally, the elder spoke. Permission granted. We look forward to your complete findings. That evening, as another aftershock gently rocked the building, the students barely flinched. They were beginning to understand. Earth was not trying to destroy humanity. It was teaching them, and humans had learned the lessons well. The final month of the exchange program brought an unexpected announcement. Dr. Chen gathered the students in the main conference room, Marcus standing beside her with an encouraging smile. You have experienced Earth passively, Doctor, Chen began. Now, for your final project, each of you will complete a standard human challenge of your choosing, something that pushes your boundaries but remains safe with proper preparation and guidance. The students exchanged nervous glances. We are not asking you to climb mountains or swim oceans, Marcus added quickly. These will be beginner-level activities that human children often do. But they will be challenging for you given your different backgrounds. Over the next week, each student chose their personal challenge with human mentorship. Zelix chose a forest hiking trail, facing her fear of Earth's aggressive plant life. Marcus spent hours teaching her to identify safe plants, avoid dangerous ones, and respect nature's boundaries without fearing it. Threnva selected swimming in a controlled lake environment, determined to understand Earth's waters better. A patient human instructor taught him about currents, temperature management, and how humans read water conditions. Crate decided to visit a working greenhouse, learning how humans cultivate plants despite Earth's harsh seasonal changes. The experience showed him human cooperation with nature, rather than domination of it. Pix chose to observe and document Earth insects safely, overcoming her terror of creatures that could sting or bite. An entomologist guided her, showing how humans study dangerous species with respect and caution. Vorn selected rock climbing at an indoor facility, testing his strength against Earth's gravity in a controlled setting. His human coach taught him that Earth sports were not about conquering nature but understanding one's own limits. Seely chose birdwatching in a coastal area, learning to appreciate Earth's skies despite their unpredictable weather. A meteorologist accompanied her, teaching her to read weather patterns and prepare appropriately. The training period was intense. Each student struggled, failed, tried again, and slowly improved. Their human mentors showed remarkable patience, never mocking their fears, always encouraging their progress. The day of the challenges arrived during Earth's autumn season. The weather was cool but clear, perfect conditions. Zelix completed her 3-kilometer forest trail, identifying plants correctly, avoiding hazards, and emerging tired but triumphant. She had not just survived Earth's forests, she had walked through them with confidence. Threnva swam across the lake, using techniques adapted for his species. Reading the water's movement, working with the currents instead of fighting them, he surfaced with newfound respect for Earth's aquatic environments. Crate spent hours in the greenhouse, understanding how humans protected delicate plants from harsh winters, created controlled environments, and nurtured life despite Earth's extreme seasons. Pix documented 15 different insect species, maintaining safe distances, using proper equipment, and learning which posed actual threats versus which were harmless. Her fear transformed into scientific curiosity. Vorn climbed the training wall, understanding how humans built strength gradually, respected safety protocols, and challenged themselves within reasonable limits. Seely watched migrating birds along the coast, correctly predicting a weather change using tools and knowledge her mentor had shared. She saw beauty in Earth's dynamic skies, rather than only danger. The graduation ceremony took place in the main auditorium. The Galactic Academic Council attended via holographic link, along with representatives from each student's homeworld. The students presented their final thesis together, a comprehensive report titled, Earth as Deathworld, Understanding Humanity's Evolutionary Advantage. Zelix began the presentation. We arrived on Earth with arrogance, believing the Deathworld classification was human exaggeration. We were wrong. Earth presents environmental challenges that would have destroyed most civilizations, Vorn continued. However, these challenges created something remarkable. Humans are not the strongest, fastest, or most intelligent species we have encountered, but they may be the most adaptable. Krait's projection glowed steadily as he spoke. Human problem-solving abilities, persistence, risk assessment, and social cooperation are all direct products of surviving Earth. They learn to prepare rather than panic, to adapt rather than retreat. Threnva added his perspective. Humans teach their children survival skills that would terrify adult members of safer species. This is not cruelty but necessity. Earth demands vigilance, and humans provide it naturally. Pix displayed their compiled data. We document extensive evidence of human resilience. Their infrastructure, educational systems, emergency response networks, and cultural values all reflect their environmental reality. They have turned adversity into strength. Seeley concluded their findings. We recommend that the Galactic Council update Earth's classification understanding. It is not merely a death world, but a forge world. Earth has forged humanity into one of the galaxy's most resilient species, not through violence or aggression, but through constant adaptation and cooperation. The council chambers were silent for a long moment. Then the elder member spoke, her voice filled with respect. This is perhaps the most insightful analysis we have received from any exchange program. You have learned well. Your thesis will be distributed throughout the academic network. After the ceremony, the students gathered with Dr. Chen and Marcus for private farewells. They had prepared gifts representing their homeworlds and gratitude. Dr. Chen accepted them with genuine warmth. You came here as skeptical visitors. You leave as friends and ambassadors of understanding. That is the true purpose of exchange programs. Marcus smiled at each of them. You all did great. Seriously. Those challenges were not easy. And you completed them with courage. We had excellent teachers, Zelix said softly. You showed us patience we did not deserve after our initial arrogance. Everyone starts somewhere, Marcus shrugged. The important thing is that you were willing to learn and grow. The final evening, the students stood together on the observation deck, watching Earth sunset. The sky blazed with colors that still seemed impossibly vibrant to their alien eyes. I will miss this world, Threnva admitted. Despite everything, or perhaps because of everything. Earth taught us humility, Krait agreed. Our worlds are gentle compared to this one. We have lived soft lives. Not soft, Seeley corrected gently. Just different. Every world shapes its people differently. Earth shaped humans into survivors. Our worlds shaped us into scholars, artists, builders. Neither is better. Only different. Vorn nodded his massive head. True wisdom. We came seeking knowledge. We found it. But not the kind we expected. As the stars emerged in Earth's darkening sky, Pix clicked softly. When we tell others about humanity, what should we say? Zelix considered carefully before answering. We tell them the truth. Humans are not stronger or smarter than other species, but they are survivors. They live on a world that constantly challenges them, and instead of being broken by it, they learn to dance with danger. They prepare, they adapt, they help each other, and they thrive. They are Deathworlders. Vorn added with newfound respect. And that is an achievement worth honoring. The shuttle arrived the next morning. As it lifted away from Earth, the 6 students looked back at the blue planet growing smaller below them. They had arrived as critics and left as witnesses. Earth continued spinning peacefully, beautiful and deadly, nurturing and challenging, exactly as it had always been. And on its surface, humanity continued doing what they had always done. Living, learning, growing, and thriving on a world that demanded nothing less than their absolute resilience. The students carried home more than academic credits. They carried understanding, respect, and a profound appreciation for the strength that comes not from avoiding challenges, but from facing them with courage, preparation, and unwavering determination. Earth had taught them well.